In this tutorial in CyberLink PowerDirector, we'd like to show you how to take some of the background information stored in many digital photographs and make that information appear overlaid on top of your picture in CyberLink PowerDirector. Now this applies only to certain kinds of storage formats. For example, I have here a picture of an apple in a tree. If I right-click on it and click on View Properties, the third box down tells me it has EXIF data, E-X-I-F. That stands for Exchangeable Image File Format. I have the camera model, the date and time, the exposure, the f-stop, all that information. So this will work with the technique we're about to show you. I have another picture here of a vehicle, and we don't have any information. If I right-click on that and click on View Properties, the EXIF box is blank. Most movies that you and I will use, movie clips, will not work. I have, for example, a stock footage over here. I have a random piece of video off an iPhone and now off of an Android phone, and none of these will work. So basically it's certain kinds of photographs, those taken with cameras, and stored in an EXIF format, and then some tape camcorder information stored as a DV/AVI file. So with all that out of the way, let me show you what we can do with this. When I click on one of these images, I have a new button that pops up above the timeline called Time Info. Notice when I click on this other photograph, that button does not appear. So if it's a candidate, automatically you'll see the button. What's this all about and what can you do? I'll click on it and we'll find out. What I have here is I have the option of adding a date stamp, a timestamp, which it pulls from the background information, or a remark on my photograph. So let's do add date stamp, and it pops one on. We have a host of options on what that would look like. So you can pick your format. Let's pick the bottom one now. And now I have the date. Let's say if I want to add the time, I've got three options for time. I can do a leading zero, military time, or standard time. Let's do that. Then I can add a remark if I want, and I'll type in Granny Smith apple. And so this is the information that I can have overlaid on top of my picture during the course of my video production. We can also change the format. Now there are 6 options here. What comes first, second, and third? The default is date, time, and comment. Let's do comment, date, and time. And now the comment is on the top. We can choose the location. We can show the text in the whole clip. Now in this case, my photograph is narrower than my clip size, so I'm not going to click this button. Otherwise, if I need the room, it would show it across the entire width of the clip. Let's look at the text setting we can change here. We can change the font that we're going to use. Let's make it a lot bigger so we can see. Do a 48, and we can change information about the color of the text. Let's make it a maroon. And we can change the border or shadow if we want as well. We can also change the style. We can do bold, regular italic, bold italic, and the alignment. If you have multiple texts, will they align left, or center, or right? So those are the 3 that you have there. Let me just settle with what we have, and we'll click on OK. And now we have also, we can do upper left, upper right, lower right, but that's not all. I can simply take the mouse and drag the text anywhere I want. I'm going to make it smaller. It's a little big there for illustration. Let's go to 36. And now I can take this and move it anywhere I want to on top of my clip. Now if I click on OK, what will happen when I play this particular clip in the timeline? It will appear and then disappear. Now here's something I find that I don't quite understand. If I adjust the duration of the clip at all, now when I play it, it will fade in during the beginning of the clip, stay on the screen during the entire clip, and then fade out at the end. But if I don't touch it at all, it comes and goes and only stays on the screen for a short period of time. I'm not sure why that happens, but that's the reality of it. What I'm going to do now is go back to that same clip, click on Time Info again, and now I will say Apply to All. Now you notice that there is an information box that appears. It only applies to clips of the same type, in other words, EXIF clips on the same track. So this other picture is an EXIF over here on my timeline track 1. The video will not be impacted. This other photo won't be impacted, neither will these two cell phone videos. If I click Apply to All, it reminds me what it's going to touch, and I'll click on OK. Now I go back to the other clip, and I play that, and now I have that same information. It pulled the data out of that clip, but it also added the comment. Now the other thing I can do is if I don't want that, I can click on, highlight it, then click on the Time Info button above the timeline, and I can delete some or all of that I want. I can just say, well, all I want is a timestamp on this one, and click on OK. And now when I play it, it will just give me the timestamp of that particular one. If I want to clear all of them, all I need to do is click on Time Info and uncheck all three boxes and do Apply to All. And now both of these are regular photographs. They have no extra information. The other thing you can do, which is kind of nice, I can click on that same button and not use a date or time, just add a remark. Just type in orchard and click on OK. And now when I play this, I have orchard. Again, that's the default font, but notice again, it doesn't cover the entire clip until I modify the duration of it. And I can even modify it back. But now it will show for the whole clip. Fade in and fade out. I can't control the fade time. I can't control all the font settings you saw earlier. But once again, I have other clips on other tracks, and when I click on Apply to All, they're not impacted by what I've done up here with this particular one. So that's a way in which you can take that background information and overlay it over any image shot with the camera stored in EXIF data and certain kinds of tape camcorder videos.